I have both the half-ton and 3/4 ton AEV edition pickups today. Now before we get started, I wanted to show you the shock absorbers because I've been wanting to do this for a while, and now that I have both trucks here, I can't forget. So you guys see, I believe on the right side, that is the suspension spool valve, right? I'm assuming that's what that is. I have no idea because I'm not an engineer. But on this side, it looks like it has two spool valves. And I'm wondering if that's why the HDs have more of a stiffer ride compared to the half tons. Now out back, I don't think we're gonna be able to see these shocks as good. And you won't be able to, unfortunately, but yeah, I can instantly tell just by looking at that one. It's totally different from the ones on the HD side. Let's see if this side's a little bit better. Yeah, it's really hard to see them, but yeah, they definitely have different setups on the shocks, and I'm willing to bet you that's why the HDs ride a little bit more harsher. Let's go ahead and take a look at the window stickers, and we'll go ahead and make our way around these trucks. Now this is going to be for the 1500. Be sure to pause it to see more, but here's just a quick look at the standard equipment on the Sierra AT4X 1500. Base price is $79,200, and they do come standard with the diesels for 2024. Now total price is $91,450, and here is the fuel economy numbers right here. Up next is the 2500. Again, just be sure to pause it so you can see some of the standard equipment on this truck. And base price is $82,800. Now obviously that's going to be with the gas engine, so once you add the Duramax and the AEV package, this truck is $104,375, and the only thing it's really missing is the Pitbull prep package. That's probably the only thing that you probably would care about. They do not show the fuel economy numbers on this truck, so let's go ahead and get back to the video. When you think about the base price of these trucks, the HD seems to be the winner for $3,600 more. I mean, think about the framing, think about just the overall stance of this truck and what you get for that money. However, when you peel the onion back, this comes standard with the diesel, this comes standard with the gas engine. Most people are gonna want the diesel, right? So right out of the gate, you're gonna add $10,000 more to the HD, which makes the half ton a little bit more desirable for some people. Now, I know that people are going to be comparing these trucks, and I'm willing to bet you that most guys are probably going to be considering the gas engine for the HD, because again, if you can get that truck for 80, well, figure you have to add destinations, so that's another $2,000, so figure about 85 grand is what that truck's going to cost you, right? If you don't add any options to it, you can have that truck under 90 grand, but the half ton makes more sense for those who don't ever plan on towing a trailer with these trucks, because you can get with this diesel over 20 mpg on the highway. Let's go ahead and start with the half ton. This truck is probably my favorite half ton off-roader because there's really nothing else like it on the market. Like, everyone has their own approach to it, but they definitely give you these meaty bumpers front and rear. The skid plates are overbuilt, they're steel, and I just like the overall styling of this bumper. The recovery hooks look great. It's, again, finished in steel in the places that it needs to be. It gives you a better approach angle, and like I said, you have these big skid plates down below. This is a signature color for the grille when you get the AT4X too, and you'll see that in a second on the HD. Premium lighting top and bottom. And they do relocate that engine block heater on the side here from the regular bumpers. Now the HD, again, has the exact same setup, off-road bumper through AEV. The approach angle is a little bit more higher compared to the half ton too. Hopefully you guys can see that. Even though you have a better approach angle, I do like this one better for sure. But the same thing, these bumpers can both have winches installed. The recovery hooks are finished in steel. And again, your protection down below is steel too. And that is an upgrade with the AEV package. Premium lighting. And again, that signature grille finished in that bronze color. They both have the forward-facing cameras, parking sensors as you saw. You do get a hood scoop with the diesel. On this side, they don't really do that. Now here's the biggest selling point for me for the HD. You do have a taller and wider tire compared to the half-ton. Let's go ahead and start over here. 18-inch wheel, and they have the exact same design too. I think they do. Yep, they have the exact same design. They're the GMC Salsa wheels. Not sure what that means. They both have protection for the valve stems there. This is a 275/70/18. So this is basically 33.2 inches tall, 10.8 inches wide. As far as the capacities go, it's right here. 2,680 pounds at 50 PSI. On the HD, you're gonna have a 305/70/18. And this is basically 34.8 inches tall, 12 inches wide. Bigger capacity for the tire, which is what you would expect on a truck like this. 3,750 pounds at 65 PSI. Independent front suspension on both sides. Now I will show you on the inside. This does have an open diff versus a locker up front. Power deployable running boards come standard on the HD, but I don't see that that's available for the half-ton. But you can get the high clearance steps and the rock guard protectors too on the side. There is no availability for the tow mirrors for the AT4X AEV edition either, from what I saw online. But they do finish them in the black gloss here. And the same thing goes around the windows, all black gloss. Door handles are painted for the AEV edition on both sides. Smart key system for the front doors only. And you can pretty much tell, I have these trucks lined up almost perfectly. And when you look out back, you can see this truck has a longer wheelbase for the HD, which is gonna help it tow better. Steps on the side of the HD bed, not on this half-ton. 36-gallon fuel tank versus 24-gallon fuel tank. And then check out the leaks. I'm glad I got these trucks side by side because you can see how much meatier the HD leaf springs are right here. Hopefully you can see them better right there. There you go. So that's the HD versus the half-ton. Now out back, you do have pretty much the exact same setup on both sides. Let's go ahead and start with the HD. So they do black this part of the tailgate out. They add this AEV badge right there, and you have the AEV bumper, and they do add the badge on the side right there. And it gives you a better clearance out back. Recovery hooks are right here. And I did notice you can put pods on this bumper just like on the half-ton for like lights if you're going off-road. Class 5 receiving hitch versus a Class 4 receiving hitch. And they do give you a full-size spare with matching wheel. 342 rear end with the diesel. And they do give you these camera inputs. Now when we drop the tailgate down, they do provide the kicker sound system. Fifth wheel prep package is available for this truck. And they do stamp AT4X in the front of the bed. Just like you saw on the HD, you have the same badges. The bumpers are pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure they're a little bit bigger on the HD though. But did you guys notice the taillights on the 3/4 ton? They're totally different from the ones on the half-ton. I love the styling of these. And these are unique for AT4X on the HD side of the house. Now as far as the tailgate goes, you have the multi-pro on both sides. However, I did notice that this truck did not have the kicker sound system. They do still stamp AT4X there. You have bed lights on both sides. You cannot get fifth wheel prep package for this truck, however. Let's talk about the engines really quickly. As I said earlier, the diesel comes standard for this truck. 305 horsepower, 495 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed transmission behind this engine. This is an inline 6 3-liter too. There is an availability for a 6.2-liter gas V8. This is the optional 6.6-liter Duramax. 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. The gas engine would have the 373 rear, and it's going to have 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. 10-speed Allison. And man, this is pretty tall here. This side's really easy. And the reason why I wanted to go over that is
the gas engine does cost more to have in this truck, which I'm actually shocked by. Normally the diesel costs more. Let's go ahead and check out the interiors, and I'm going to show you guys the quick differences, and then I'll show you the payload up next. I've done a lot of videos on these trucks, and I actually did a separate video, so I'm not going to go through all the stuff in here, but both trucks have the exact same interiors. The only differences that you're going to see here, I'm going to show it to you. Number one, this truck does have more drive modes. So when you go through, you have, of course, normal, sport, off-road, terrain. Also, this truck does have a regular gear selector versus the column shift that you'll see in the HD. And as I mentioned, you have a front and rear locker on this truck. So apart from that, these trucks are pretty much the exact same. Also, they do give you this badge on the side of the doors, only on the front, but you don't get that on the HD side. And I almost forgot too, you don't have a power steering column and the paddle shifters on the HD as well. On the HD, you have two drive modes, off-road and normal, and it only has a rear locker. They both had the downhill assist, but you don't have this button inside of the half ton. This drops down all the windows for the truck, okay? And with this truck, you have an exhaust brake button for the half ton. If you put it in tow haul mode, it would turn the exhaust brake on with it. You guys notice that this truck didn't have the gear selector down here, it's up there. So this puts a blank space right there. But that's pretty much it. They have pretty much the exact same interiors. I think that the half ton doesn't have this either. But as I said earlier, they don't put that AT4X badge on the doors. And yes, I did remember, this truck does not have the badge right there. And they both have this embroiderment for the headrest. And on this side, you can see that you get the AEV floor mats too. Now, really quickly, on the outside, this is the last thing I want to show you guys, and then I'll show you the payload. You get a lot of skid plates with these trucks, but you do get an additional one with this one. You see that you have a skid plate for that diff. They do not add that on this side, and I'm probably willing to bet it's because you have a larger rear axle and they don't expect people to really take these trucks off-road. I mean, I highly doubt anyone takes either one of them, but I'm willing to bet you most people aren't going to take the HD off-road too aggressively. But yeah, you can see all the protection down there, and they do give you a skid plate for the gas tank or fuel tank or whatever you want to call it. Great protection on the HD side, but they do not protect the fuel tank. Last but not least, here are the numbers on the door. So the axle up front and the gross vehicle weight rating were increased for the diesel, and then here's your axle rating out back. And then here are all the numbers. So you have a 983 pound payload capacity, 8,500 pound conventional towing. Let's go and take a look at the HD. If you plan on towing a trailer, even if it's 6,000 or 7,000 pounds, I would highly recommend you get the HD. The gross vehicle weight rating on this truck is going to be 11,350. You have bigger capacity for the axles, and you almost have 3 times the payload, 2,694 pounds. Conventional towing is 18,500, and you have a realistic gooseneck towing number, 15,500 versus 5,200 pounds. And yeah, I mean, this is the way to go if you're going to tow a trailer for sure. And I'm serious when I say this, even if it's a 5,000 pound trailer, I probably would still just pick this one, because when you add your gear into the bed, your passengers, depending on how heavy everyone is, you're going to definitely run out of payload. 983 pounds. When I add my family, I only have 500 pounds available for this truck. So this wouldn't work for me at all. But I do think for the price difference, I think it's like $12,000, almost $13,000 basically. When you think about the options, definitely the half ton makes more sense for a lot of people, because this is $104,000, guys. But I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, I wanted to show you guys around these pickups, and I think that the HD is a bargain when you don't get the AEV package because of the interior. So just think about that. And hey, if you do want to add the bumpers, I'm pretty sure that AEV is going to have them available for aftermarket too. See you guys soon.